Damn it, y'all. I started this video on my other phone and it cut off on me. Why am I surprised? I'm not. But I got like 8 minutes through and I thought I was going to make it, but I didn't. So here we are on my crappy phone again. So first off, before I get anywhere else, actually, hold on one second. Okay, so as I was saying, I had to get comfortable. So as I was saying, first thing I want to say in this video is trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. For my friends that self-harm talk bothers you or triggers you, baby, this is not the video for you. Please just come back to the next video. I promise we will get into some fun stuff. But this video, I don't want to influence anybody's mental health, you know?
Yeah.
So, trigger warning.
Bother me.
Don't.
Don't
Okay.
bother me.
Okay, I'm not bothering you. You don't bother me then. Anyways. So, yes, I straightened my hair. It's braided and everything. And, I got a comment the other day saying how fast my hair grows. In 9 months, I think, from 9 months ago, I got it cut up to about right here. And it has grown that much in about 9 or 10 months. So, and yeah, you like my little pony? Excuse me. So yeah, I donated about every 2 years because, it grows so fast. I can donate about 12 to 14 inches every 2 years. Usually. Sometimes I go a little longer, sometimes I go a little less, just depends. But I try to get it long enough to where a nice wig can be made out of it. And no, I do not donate to Locks of Love. Will never. And what else did I want to say before we get started on this serious topic? Oh, and I want to tell a little short story too. I found one of my favorite pairs. You probably cannot see that, but it's like a unicorn, and it's like framed in a circle, basically, or an oval. But that was one of my favorite pairs of my mother's earrings whenever I was a kid. I used to love them. She had a necklace too that was like a gold, then copper, then silver color. It looked like it had a rainbow mane, but it was different colors of metal. Anyways, I wish that I could find at least one, that wasn't hers, but find it online or something. But I'll never see it again. Unfortunately, I already told y'all that story. But yeah, I found this one, and I was so freaking excited because I thought that I had found the other one a couple months ago. But it turns out that apparently it was this one twice that I found. And my kids must have dragged it out of my jewelry box and dropped it on the floor. So that was unfortunate. And I was like, how am I going to wear this earring with no match? So I went in and I was looking through my earrings and I find, well, you can't see him, this little guy. Which this phone sucks, so you probably can't even see what it is either. But it's a wizard holding a magic ball. Is it? I just had like the biggest brain fart. Is that what it's called? A magic ball? Oh, I don't even know right now. I can't think. A crystal ball. Crystal ball. Duh. Anyways. I'm on one today. So anyways, yeah. So I figured, unicorn, wizard, both, mythical beings. You can think together, right? So anyways, I'm stalling. I'm trying not to get to this, serious subject. Okay, I'm gonna quit stalling though. So on Saturday, I took the kids outside to play, and my stepdaughter, my older daughter, she's not my stepdaughter, she's my daughter, but just so she wasn't really playing. She was like looking down, twiddling with her fingers, and she wasn't riding her bike. And I could just tell that she was really thinking about something. And so I just left her alone for a minute because she's at that age. Some kids at that age are mysterious and moody, and so I usually try to leave her alone. If she wants to talk about something, she will come to me because I'm her confidant. She comes to me about everything. So I know she wanted to talk about it. She's going to tell me. So she stands there for about 5-10 minutes. She rides her bike back and forth a couple times, and then she comes back and she's standing there looking at the ground again. And so finally, I was like, "What's going on, baby? What are you doing?" And she was like, "Nothing." Hey. Thank you. So she says nothing, but about 5 minutes later, she's like, "Well, I need to tell you something, and I don't want you to be mad at me. I'm afraid you're going to be mad at me. I know it was stupid, and I won't ever do it again, and I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me." And I was like, "Baby, I'm not going to be mad at you for whatever you tell me. Just, you can tell me anything. Like, just tell me." So she looks down for a second, and she goes, "This." And she pulls up her sleeve. And show you my arm. Like, okay, so from about my wrist to about about a 2/3 of the way up to my rose, there was cuts all up her arm. There's probably about 30 or 40 of them, and they weren't bad. They were superficial, but well, they weren't superficial because they did penetrate the skin, but it's not the point. It doesn't matter how bad they were. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What matters is that she felt that she had to do that to herself. Obviously, there's something going on. If she felt that badly, that she felt that that's what would help her in the moment. So I try not to freak out. In my mind, I was freaking out about it. But what I said was different. I said, please stop. Okay, so she's in one of those moods where she wants to just be crazy. Which, what is new? She acts just like her dad whenever he was a kid. From whatever, I didn't know him as a kid, but from what his mother and grandmother have told me, I was a Clyde kid. Honestly, I went back and forth trying to figure out whether I, oh my gosh, if I've got Asperger's. Just because of a lot of the things on the list. Obviously, I don't have autism. Well, it's the same thing, but it's just like a scale. Asperger's is like lower end, and I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, I went back and forth, and I was just a really introverted child. I've changed a lot over the years, but there's still a lot of things that I'm like, But anyways, so what I told her was, I'm not mad at you, first off, but please don't do it again, because I did that whenever I was a teenager too. I did it for a couple years, and I always did it like right here on the tops of my arms. So if I wear t-shirts, you really wouldn't even see it. Luckily, I don't have scars anymore. I had scars until my early 20s, and then I used a scar cream on it, and it finally faded to where you can almost not even see them. Sometimes whenever I get a tan, you can very faintly see them, but look at me, girl. Do I look like I'm getting any tans? Anyways, this is not a funny situation. But I told her, I said, listen, I said, whatever you're going through is not worth you doing that to yourself, because it might feel good for that 15 seconds that you're doing it, but then after, it makes like a mound of stuff just worse. You feel guilty, you feel ashamed, you feel afraid that people are going to see it, you're afraid that people are going to ask why you did that, you're afraid of people finding out, period. So it's not worth it to do that stuff. I said, if you're in that moment, and you feel like you want to do that, call me and I will come get you right there. I don't care when it is. I don't care. If you're up there and you feel that way, come get, or call me and I'll come get you. I don't care. I asked her why she was feeling that way and why she did it. And she told me that her grandma had been gone since whenever that morning and didn't get home till 9 o'clock that night. So she was by herself. And her sister had been beating on her, which is something that I'm worried about because her older sister is very unstable. And she's getting to the point where she's abusive. And it's not safe for them to be alone in the house together. And they are all the time. 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago now, the older sister stabbed my daughter in the hand with a fork. And she still has a scar on her hand. And all the grandmother said was, don't tell your dad and Courtney, they'll be pissed off that she did that. Didn't scold the other girl, didn't say nothing about it to her. Because she's afraid of her too. But told my girl, just don't tell them. Her hand was bleeding. And it happened right before, she came home. So how the hell was she not going to tell us what happened? So apparently she expected her to lie to us about what happened. So anyways, that leads into this. She said that her grandma had left her there all night and Alicia was beating on her and it triggered her thoughts into whenever she was a child and Alicia, her sister, would, that's not actually her name. I gave a fake name, but still. I was trying not to say any names at all. That she would beat her so bad and kick her in the stomach so much that she would throw up everywhere. And when she would try to tell, her grandfather was always too sick to do anything about it or punish the girl. Or she would tell the grandmother, and the grandmother would do exactly what she does now and just, well, don't tell. Don't tell your dad that that's happening to you. So she never told us. She would tell us when, they would get in an argument or something like that. Like, she would tell us, small details, but she would never tell us when the older girl was actually beating her. And now the grandmother uses the older sister to scare her. When my girl doesn't listen or something, she'll be like, oh, I'm going to get your sister on you. She'll make you listen. And she will put hands on my daughter, if she doesn't listen. So she threatens her with harm. So I was like, okay, so what did your grandma say about this? She said, don't tell your dad and Courtney. Wear long sleeves to school. Don't tell your teachers. Don't show your friends. And definitely don't show your counselor. Because she's now aware that the school counselor, has called my husband and I both because he wants to be present whenever she talks to the guardian items. Because he's called CPS. He's called CPS on them a few times himself. And the grandmother's got it beat into her head that CPS doesn't believe her and they think that she's lying. So she's afraid to talk. So, and the counselor knows this. So the counselor wants to be there because he knows what's going on. He knows how, he knows how to talk and he's going to make sure that her voice is heard and that that they know that she's not lying. Which is great. Because finally, there's been multiple people that have called CPS and that kind of stuff, but they don't even, she brags because they don't even go inside of her house when they come. She says she just cries a little bit and they just say, oh, okay, well, you need to put the dogs outside and leave. I think I've talked about this before, so I ain't even going to get into all that. That's not the point. The point right now is, did I say enough? Did I do enough? Did I say the right thing? Is there more that I need to say? Is there something that I can do to help her? do you guys have any ideas of anything that I can do? Because it's getting to a point now where I was already afraid that it was dangerous for her, but now she's a danger to herself because the situation is dire. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I'm only her stepmom and I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm allowed to raise her and love her and treat her like my own and feel like she's my own, but I can't fight for her. There's nothing that I can do for her through the law. So can anybody think of anything that I can really do to make sure that this doesn't happen again? And help her understand what she can do to her body. I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to get out. I don't think that I'm saying it right. But I'm just worried about her, and I want to know if there's any programs that anybody knows about or anything. Any advice would be amazing because, and I'm probably going to take this down because I don't even want to talk about this right now, especially on here, but I don't know what else to do. I need advice. And I don't want to keep harping on her about it because I don't want to keep going on and on about it and make it a big deal. Because then the more I make it a big deal, the more it'll be a big deal to her. And I just don't know if what I'm doing and saying is right in this situation. Because I know how I was dealt with and how I've been dealt with my mental health and stuff has not been right. And I don't want to do that to my child. I want her to feel confident that I will do what is best for her and I will help her. I'm not going to just say, don't worry about it, just don't tell anybody you did it, because then, they will take you from me for sure. I'm only worried about my own ass instead of getting you help. And I also don't know if it was, and I don't even want to say this because my child's not this tight, but I don't know if it was just a cry for attention or what it was, because it's really bad if that's what it was, because she's not going to get it. No matter what she does, all she's going to hear is, don't tell anybody what you did. She knows that I give her all the attention in the world. So it's not like she doesn't get attention, enough attention here especially, but I don't think she did that for attention. I don't think that's her motive. Anyways, just if any of you have any experience with this or experience with yourself, because it's not really something that I have ever brought up in my therapy. I don't really know why. I just never took it that serious whenever I did it, because I never was trying to die whenever I did it. So, and neither was she. But point being, I've just never brought it up in my therapy, so I've never really learned a whole lot about what goes on with that. And I just need some advice. So anybody that has any advice or any opinion, please let me know. Please be kind in the comment section. Obviously, this is a serious subject, and I'm a mom. That's all. I'm not a therapist. I don't know how to deal with this. I just know that I want my child to be okay. And mean comments isn't going to do that for me. So just be kind, and I hope you guys are having a good Monday. I've been worried about this all weekend. It's been on my mind a lot. I had to say it to somebody, and I don't have anybody to talk to in real life, so I hope you guys don't mind that I unloaded this on you. I promise tomorrow's video is going to be a happy one for once. it's gonna be my that's what it's gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna make myself make something positive because all these negative videos are putting me in a negative mood. Um, yeah, just let me know something, guys. I appreciate any help. All right, I love you guys. Have an awesome week. I'll probably delete this after a couple days. I just, like I said, I want the advice, but I really don't want this public, so I'll probably delete it here in a few days. I'll definitely get back to you guys about any comments though or anything. Thank you in advance for your input, and I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.